Hello friends, welcome to another video. In this video, we'll have an introduction about the blockchain technology. Whenever blockchain comes in the mind, cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is the answer. But whereas in this video, we are not going to discuss anything about the cryptocurrency. We are going to discuss the different use cases in agriculture, education, real estate, defense, energy management, and many more. So blockchain is a public ledger. It's a distributed ledger technology, as per the wiki also. It is basically a mechanism to keep the records between two parties in more efficient, verifiable, permanent way. But it is a game changer. But whereas it is not a silver bullet, it cannot solve everything. But whereas it can improvise the transactions, it can make the transaction more secure and tamper-proof, thus making the transactions speed up. Blockchain history is basically the history of the cryptography secure chains date back 1991, where Scott Haber and Scott Stornetta basically gave some idea how the cryptography can make the transaction secure. But whereas the current form of the blockchain came in 2008 with a paper from Satoshi Nakamoto, who gave the current form of Bitcoin and security about the cryptocurrency. And then it was implemented in all the cryptocurrency, what we see nowadays, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Whereas in simple words, according to the wiki, it's a chain, it's a simple linked list where the first block is known as a genesis block. Every block contains the data. Every succeeding block will have a reference to the previous one in a very secure form. So all the blocks which form a chain are represented here in a block and on a black color. But whereas those who are not able to get verified, they won't be added up to the chain. So they are called orphan blocks. So it solves a lot of problems where you cannot, it's immutable. First of all, you cannot alter one block in between because the chain will break in between. So that's why this was implemented very easily for securing the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. So the main features of the blockchain are consensus. All parties must agree to the verified transaction immutability. It cannot be changed. The source of the origination of the data or the record should be known. Anybody can verify. And privacy. Nobody can able to change, or everyone has a permission to see from where that transaction has come and who has endorsed it. So, in with simple words, the blockchain working as you can say the transaction between two parties without any third party mechanism, like in a bank, whenever we want to deposit or whenever we want to give some money to the second party, we have some bank in between which is involved and which takes money also from us in order to make the entire transaction secure. So, but in blockchain, if A wants to give money to B, we can see in the speaker we got it from vforum.org. So A wants to give money to B, a block is generated. The block is distributed to all the people in the network. There are many parties, and when it is got approved from minimum 51% of the people, means in a network the transaction is valid only when it is endorsed by a set of people. That block gets added to the list. So there is no need for some third party trusted intermediary like bank. So data is secure because it is getting approved by a number of people. So the ledger, this digital ledger will get replicated to more than one person in the network. So it is secure. Nobody can tamper with the block, with the chain as well. So blockchain use cases spans across all the verticals. It is not only the Bitcoin. So the blockchain basically, if we see that human trafficking, conflict diamonds, land rights, music industry, and so many. So the first one is simply the song released by Heap, right? It was released on the blockchain platform where all the artists were able to sell the song directly to their fans, and revenue was shared between the creators. Sweden is experimenting its land registry system on a blockchain because we know that the 70% of the land transactions in the world are not secure. They always always fall in the insecure hands, and some countries have the transaction as fast as one transaction per 30 seconds. So it is very important to secure every transaction. Microsoft is working on a blockchain to create secure identity system because there are some 1.5 billion people in Asia and Africa only who don't have a formal ID. Now comes to the conflict damage. So we must know from where the damage has originated, who owns it. So Everledger is already using a blockchain and certify and track damage. This is another area in which it is importantly needed. Another use case of blockchain is education, very important, where all the certifications or the you can say certificates are to be verified. And the MIT Media Lab Collaborator Blockser toolset is providing an open infrastructure for creating, issuing, and viewing, verifying the blockchain-based certificates. So e-portfolio service is another service digital badge is providing for based upon this blockchain. Sony Global Education is providing an education platform in partnership with IBM for using blockchain to secure the student records. So the next is the infrastructure security. The schools are adding more cameras and sensors, and companies like XH are providing blockchain-based tamper-proof ledgers for sharing with the different networks, the parents and the school authorities. Ride sharing blockchain is bringing in new options. We can see on the other side the pics are showing the Nabia and EZ10 in France and University of Michigan. The driverless cars are there, which have been certified, which have been secured. The transaction have been secured by the distributed ledger technologies. Energy management, where DLT, digital ledger technology, could reduce the need for intermediaries. So, suppose if I generate a power, generate energy using solar panels, I need to push the entire energy generator to the national grid. But whereas the other party, if I want to sell it to my neighbor, I cannot because my neighbor need to buy it from the public ledger or public grid. That means a national grid, the government owns it. So here, another startup transitive grid basically enables the decentralized energy generation schemes, allowing the entities to generate, buy, and sell energy to their neighbors. So very easy. The blockchain is certifying that. So the next use case is the prepaid cards, where we have a cards only from banks or from the authorities who has intermediaries or who is providing the cards on behalf of the banks. So we need not to have this Master Visa or RuPay card. Now the shopping center can generate its own card and approve the transaction through blockchain. So the smart contracts DLT can use to automatically execute agreements once set to provide specified conditions are met. So Wolf University is the first basically to come up with the smart contracts based upon the DLT. Learning marketplace, we need not to have any middlemen for test preparation to serving schools. So another disciplina as another platform based upon this blockchain use case. Now the openbazaar.org. Now whenever we go to any shopping center, we need to have some approved card approved by some bank, and that bank has provided a card machine to the vendor, to the merchant. So whatever we pay directly, it didn't reach to the merchant. It goes to the bank, the account maintained by for the merchant, and we pay the money for possessing a card, and bank charge some money from the merchant as well. But whereas now the blockchain can prove that no third party is required in between. So directly we can have a transaction. So OpenBazaar operates on an open source peer-to-peer network that connects buyer and seller without a middleman. So it accepts all the different type of cryptocurrencies as well. But without cryptocurrencies also we can have other use case. So Microsoft is also providing Azure as a blockchain as a service. So it is creating a tool for blockchain web developers. So it is secure, cheaper, and a cheaper environment that supports several chains, including storage, multi-chain, risk, and many others. Blockchain voting is another use case where the country like India is spending somewhat from 50 to 60,000 crores on national voting. So the vote goes to the appropriate ballot or not, that is not even sure. So where this blockchain can ascertain everything, and this is tamper-proof technology. Another use case of blockchain. Blockchain in healthcare is another important use case nowadays, where the drug traceability is an important usage. Data security of the clinical trials and patient data management. We need to secure everything. And above all, the IoT devices generating the patient data related to the patient. Monitoring systems are generating so much of data. They all need to be secured. So blockchain can only ensure that security of all this data. And there are so many platforms already in place which provides all this type of like food supply chain tracking and this guard times KSI is another solution. Consumed as a service, Verizon's enterprise and government consumers will be able to integrate proven blockchain solution to their existing business processes. So we are reinventing the different cloud blockchains, and there are so many systems in place. Those who are providing this uh, assured technology to the masses. So in the aerospace, defense aerospace, Lockheed Martin, the first US defense contractor to incorporate blockchain technology into its development process, so enabling more efficient offerings through the federal government. UPS basically announced to have a blockchain in transport alliance to make this technology standards in the freight industry. So blockchain has included there also. So in the last but not the least, the agriculture, where the India 70% population depends upon the this vertical itself. So the food safety traceability is another important concern. So efficient, transparent supply chain mechanism. There's a agridigital.io. It's providing this. So it is not only in India. There are so many countries around the world who are basically dependent on the agriculture, and blockchain has given us a very proven results in this logistics where the shelf life is too short, and we want the agriculture product to reach to the destination where it is consumed. So the blockchain is the answer for many use cases we saw. There are so many to come across. So in this video, we have only this much, but the next video we will be discussing about securing the IoT transactions using blockchain. So if you like the video, do subscribe so that you get the next video right when it is published. In the description section, we have the links related to this video and the previous videos which we have published. Thanks for watching.